The top 5 chess mistakes that you guys need to stop doing to see true progress in your chess rating. This is what worked for my students. I'm going to be breaking it down. And this is not the average don't bring out your queen too early video that you normally see on YouTube. These are genuine chess tips which I again used along my journey as well. So if you guys apply this, your ratings will go through the roof. I am going to be getting into this video right now, so let's take some notes. Alright, so the first one that we're going to be talking about is what I refer to as the blitz mentality. It's like you guys are playing on autopilot. You are not giving much thoughts in your moves and you're forming a lot of bad habits. So here it's black to play. What would you play in this scenario? So what I see persons do a lot is that they would have 2 pieces develop and they try to make those 2 pieces do all the fighting. So they'll try moves like knight to d4, so forth, and then, eventually they throw away the game. What you need to do instead is to get out of that mentality and actually look to bring more pieces into the play. So what I refer to this as is if you see a good move in chess, look for a better one. And this move, bishop to b4, is the first move of this game. Now, obviously, if he blocks the queen, then that's mate. See? In other words, if persons are on autopilot, they would take the queen. If you look for a better one, you will take the rook, which is checkmate. I'm going to be going more in detail. So after bishop to b4, if pawn to c3, then you simply take it, take, and we're seeing now that white can't protect these 2 at once. Is going to be losing an entire rook on a8. And for most importantly, if this is captured, what would you play for black here? So persons, again, if you're on autopilot, you would take this and then throw away the game. If you look for better, you will see q to c3 and the same thing happens. You're going to be taking the rook and coming back, and people are going to lose this quite easily with the white pieces. So take notes. That's going to be the first one, guys. Let's get into our next one. The second most common mistake I see a lot is that persons don't understand hanging pieces or unprotected pieces. Now, especially at the lower levels, you want to be very careful when you are leaving pieces unprotected. You want to check those first. And especially if you're the person trying to work on your tactics, scan the board for pieces that are not protected. For example, in this scenario, it's these 2 pieces. And if you just take some time and look at the position with fresh eyes. Don't just play. You're going to be like, all right, my opponent just made this move. Is there anything unprotected? And it can actually give you a high probability of actually spotting those pieces whenever they're created. And in this position, we can see that bishop takes c3 is simply winning a piece. If you don't have the time to work on chess yourself and you want to speed up your growth, then you could book a session through my website. The link is going to be in my description or my bio. The third most common mistake I see happen a lot is that persons are not checking to see what their opponent is threatening before they move. Now, whenever they believe that they're winning, they just go chill mode. They're like, all right, everything is under control, and then they relax. That is a big mistake, guys. A big mistake. And here, black just played the move pawn to c3. And we know how it is, guys. Like, this guy has his plans, you have your plans, and then guess what? You don't care about your opponent's plans. You push pawn to g7, and then, again, everybody sees it. Rook to h1, checkmate. Don't relax, guys. If your intuition is extremely good, then that's... If you're practicing or working on your intuition, that's fantastic. But for persons who really and truly make a lot of one move errors, ensure that you are actually focusing through the whole game and not just hanging one move mistakes. All right, let's get into the fourth one. Now, for low elo players, even for intermediate ones, this one, I would call this just too many weak pawn moves, guys. Now, understand that in chess, whenever you move a pawn, you're leaving squares behind. Now here, White played this move, pawn to c3. And remember, in chess, we don't practice reactive. Like when somebody attacks us, I'm not like I want to run away. I look to counter attack and understand that pawn moves weaken squares. Every pawn move that you play leaves a square behind, so be extremely careful when doing so. Now here, knight b3 is obviously good, but bishop to b3 is lights out, guys. Simply realizing that white made a weak pawn move and simply capitalizing. Now here, we're seeing it. White is going to lose this piece and later on this game. Now, whenever you're making pawn moves, what you could put or keep in your mind is simply check to see if your opponent can capitalize on the squares that you're leaving behind. If not, then it's a good pawn move. If he can, be extremely careful. Let's get into our final chess mistake. Alright, I tell every single person to work on their tactics. This is a must. Understand that you need pattern recognition to see tactics a lot faster and clearer. But here, whenever you see three pieces attacking your king, be extremely alert, guys. If you're on the defending side, you want to actually cancel out a piece, like maybe you trade one off, or you try to freeze one in this scenario. Like you try to stop this piece from actually getting into the play. Now in the game, white was a little careless and played q to q to d5. So it's blocked to play in this scenario. What would you play? And the thing is, it's not about the moving, guys. It's about the fact that persons would not even understand or know that this is dangerous. When attacking, like if you have three pieces against like nothing, that's normally a good sign. Like you need one to sack, two to mate, guys. You have the bait and then two with the execution, like some swift punches. But here, knight to d3 and the game is done. If king to b1, then that is indeed checkmate. And if bishop takes d3, then q to a8 is checkmate. So yes, guys, focus on your chess understanding, work on your weaknesses, stop these chess mistakes, and your ratings will improve, guys. So thanks again for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and see you again another time.